What is going on, guys? Johnny on the track back with another video. Background looks a little bit better. You saw the intro, little bit updated now. We've got the Slice logo in a little bit better spot. So things are looking up. This is good. If you guys watched the last video, that will be the only video of all time that you'll hear the Green Day intro. So if you did watch, that's pretty epic because you'll never hear that again. Some copyright stuff. So we're out on the Green Day intro. We've got that new song. That's a friend of mine who wrote that song. It's called New Career. Shout out Rob Carter Music. Give him a follow. He's got that kind of intro song for the new opening there for Johnny on the track. Apologies. Also, it is Friday morning or Friday afternoon at this point that I'm recording this. It has been a hectic, busy week. We'll be back on Tuesday, as usual, to record for next week's Richmond show. I will be at Richmond for the Richmond race. Excited about that. But today we're going to talk Watkins Glen. It's kind of funny. Like at this point, I was like going back and forth. Do I really even need to make a betting video on Watkins Glen when SVG is in the field and Connor Zilic is in the field as well? At this point, I'm going to get the most up-to-date numbers for you guys, but it's pretty insane what SVG has been able to do. He's looking to win four straight road courses in the NASCAR Cup Series. What a feat that would be. He's plus 120 to win. And then the young stud from that team as well in Trackhouse Racing, Connor Zilic is plus 500, looking for his first Cup Series career win. If he were to do that, he would become the youngest Cup Series winner of all time. Then you kind of look down the board. And I have to look at this and say, where do I see value? Because to be honest, I'm kind of feeling like this is going to be another SVG, just sweep and clean the field, especially that he's probably got some added motivation, one, to win four in a row, but also the way he lost last year against Chris Buescher gave that race away, slipped up, Buescher took advantage, Buescher won that race. So I think SVG is going to be fired up. And probably lead a lot of laps to a sweeping victory to get more playoff points. Um, Honestly, the only way I see him not winning is one, Zilic shocks the world, or two, you like he has an engine failure. I think even if he were to get like bumped out of the way early in the race, he would still find a way to get back up front. I believe that. So to me, SVG is probably the guy, but now you have to figure out other ways that you can bet this race because I mean, look, you can put the house on SVG at plus 120 and just say that's my bet. I'm going to put 500 on SVG and hopefully, net just another 500, right? So but I feel like you have to find different ways to go about betting this race. Um, I look at William Byron plus 160 for a top five. He's won at Watkins Glen. He has a stellar average finish in the next gen era at Watkins Glen. We know how good Chevy is at these type of tracks in the next gen era. We know how good Hendrick is at on these tracks at the next gen era. Plus 160 for a top five for William Byron seems like, in my opinion, pretty good value based on the performance results he's been able to do. And then if you fast forward back to Coda, he had an exceptional car and was able to run up front for a lot of that race. Ended up losing to Christopher Bell. Now, in the past, Toyotas have been pretty stout and strong here at Watkins Glen. This is a Denny road course. Denny historically has been pretty good. Saying all that to just say like Toyota should be solid as well. But to me, value on the board right now, I have to look for it. I see plus 160 for William Byron. As I look elsewhere on the board, top 10, as I mentioned, Denny Hamlin plus 170. I think that is good value for Denny Hamlin. This has really, historically been his best road course. And to me, you know, again, I just have to find where I feel like there's edge on some of these, betting areas. And to me, it's Denny Hamlin plus 170. I mentioned Toyota has been pretty solid overall at Watkins Glen. A lot of those drivers have been running up front in the next gen era at Watkins Glen. Denny Hamlin plus 170 is a solid bet for a top 10 to me. Now I'm going to look at some race props as well. Top Chevy is a tough one because again, if you feel like SVG is going to be the cream of the crop, if you will, you know he's minus 105. The big numbers are everywhere else. So essentially, if you feel like he's going to fluster somehow, William Byron is plus 1,000 to be the top Chevy. Then Zilich there at plus 425. Larson at plus 900. So Elliott plus 1,200. So I think you could mix and match some bets there because there's major value. But again, if you were to make that bet the last three road course races, you would have been shit out of luck. So, again, I'm just trying to find value as we feel like it, if we feel like rather that this race is going to go how we feel. Um, Top Toyota is another one. Kind of, I think these top four guys, essentially, maybe three, honestly, are just about all even. Bell plus 190, Gibbs plus 285, Reddick plus 350. All those guys have been really solid this year on road courses. I think you could mix and match top Toyota, but if I were to tell you where I would see the value, I would take it at Ty Gibbs plus 285, who has substantially shown throughout the season, especially with Gabe Hart back on in his ear, that he has gotten better and better and better and gotten closer and closer and closer. I wouldn't take his outright. Let's see. His outright is plus 1,600. I wouldn't take that because I don't think he's going to win, but I do like a prop top Toyota for Ty Gibbs. I mean, look, there's just a lot of places you could go here. But it's obviously pretty difficult at this point in time because SVG has just proven to be the dominant force. One other guy that I'm high on just because I think overall I like his aggressive style. I you know you, with the end of the regular season approaching and trying to find the best results you can and trying to find a win. I like Carson Hocevar. He's going to be on the winning strategy. A couple other these guys like Priest to me. Like I love Priest, but I might fade Priest this week because he's probably going to be on the point strategy where a guy like Busher is going to be balancing, do I go for points or do I go for the win? If I'm Busher, I'd probably go for the win because I did it last year. Maybe a little bit goes kind of like how the first stage goes. But to me, I would avoid Priest because he's probably just going to try to match points wise Busher. A guy like Hocevar, nothing to lose. He's going to be on the winning strategy, top 10 plus 150. I like that a little bit better. Who else here, would kind of be on that winning strategy? To try to get his way into the playoffs. Daniel Suarez plus 185. Historically, pretty solid road course racer, but has been pretty atrocious. Bottom 30 in points. But again, an established road course racer. We know Trackhouse cars will be good. So he's going to be on the winning strategy. Plus 185. I see a little bit of value there, but I like Carson Hocevar, aggressive style. We've seen Spire actually have some speed to contend, i.e. Michael McDowell at Mexico. So plus 150 for Hocevar. And then I mentioned Michael McDowell. Top five is plus 185. I go back and forth on that. But McDowell for a top three plus 400. I feel like that's where the value is because overall, right, um, you know, he's going to be on that winning strategy. It's all or nothing for a guy like him, both he and his teammate Hocevar. I wish I had more this week, but again, it's tough to predict these road course races when you have a guy like SVG. Like you could throw a lot of money on top Chevy bets or, outrights that are more in the Tyler Reddick range at 20 to 1, the Busher range 20 to 1, heck, even a guy like Hocevar at 40 to 1, Briscoe at 25 to 1. But again, like, you could do that and then SVG spanks the field like he's done the past three times. So I would go in to try to find the edges in value. I tried to give you the best, that I've been able to do. But I think practice and qualifying, will tell a decent tale. Let's remember, this is the road course. This in Sonoma are where, the OGs, if you will, the Denny's, the Brads, the KFBs, the Chase Elliott, the Larsons. This is the one they're most familiar with. I know you can say that about Sonoma. They're hand in hand, but Watkins Glen, I mean, this has been around for a long, long time. It's, Hendrick historically has been really good at this track. So, again, that helps the OG Cup guys, if you will, against SVG. But I mean, still, we thought that at Sonoma, and SVG went out and just, spanked everybody. So that's how I see this week. But always want to know what you guys think. Put your thoughts in the comment section down below. Give this video a like, goes a long way for the channel. And make sure you hit that subscribe button down below for more content. Richmond video again will be back on Tuesday, and I will be at Richmond, like I said. So excited for that. As we always like to say, let's go win some money.